My name is Leah, and I've always thought love at first sight was pure nonsense. I knew that the mere sight of someone couldn't possibly have someone head over heels in love. Well, I was right. The sight of Carson made me personally want to crawl in a hole. No, not with hate, but with fear. Yes, I feared Carson Dillinger, mainly due to the fact he was headed straight for me with a naughty yet charming look in his beautiful eyes. The vibe he had was undeniably confident and sure of himself, something I lacked. One thing I did know from the look of him was that I was insanely attracted to him. He was tall, lanky, with dark curly hair that probably needed a little trim, but only made him that more attractive to me. I just knew everyone could see the blush on my face as my eyes connected with his. That fact only made me more nervous. At this point, I was just about shaking as I spoke, and his dazzling blue eyes didn't help my case either. "Hi, you're new to the school, right?" he says, his voice smooth as butter. It was like he was straight out of a movie. Every word he uttered felt so calculated and perfect. I avoid his eyes. Looking into them would only mean, yeah, cool. Did you just move here? He tilts his head a little, and he readjusts his red and black backpack on his shoulder. I shake my head, trying to get rid of the heat on my face. Nope, I've lived here all my life. He looks confused, so I elaborate. I was homeschooled. Ah, he nods his head. Just as he opens his mouth to say another word, the bell rings, making me jump a little. Well, I guess I'll see you around? He pauses. I blink at him until I realize he wants my name. Oh yeah, I'm Leah. Leah, he finishes with a smile. He turns around and strides right back down the hallway to his next class. I let out a sigh and lean back against the lockers. I run a hand through my hair to calm myself down. Why are you so stupid? I ask myself. The clock seemed very slow as I was in a haste to speak with him. I just want to express myself and probably get to go on a date with him, I thought to myself. As the bell rings, I jump to my feet and hurry to the hallway. Feeling shy, I watch him as he walked and spoke with others. His steps were majestic, just like a king would walk. I stare for what seemed like a lifetime, and a few seconds after, he catches my gaze. He walks up to me with intent. I carry my face as I try to hide the blush on my face. "You look very beautiful," he says. Thank you, I managed to say. I wasn't expecting him to come up to it, and the more he stayed, the more it felt awkward. I didn't want to spoil the atmosphere, so I tried to keep the conversation going. "Will you be free this weekend?" he finally asked. Yes, my face filled with enthusiasm. We're definitely on the same wavelength, I thought. I try not to give too much thought as I walk to my next class. The next hours in class are clouded with thoughts of my newly found lover. He leaned in to hug me, and I clung to the warmth of his body, with his hands patting my back gently. "Saturday, 7 p.m., he whispers in my ears before finally planting a kiss on my cheek. I stood there with a big smile on my face, looking at my supposed lover as he walked out. "I love you," I whispered into thin air. The day arrived. I went with him on a date. He gave me a bouquet of flowers. We had sushi at dinner, and we had a good talk for almost an hour. He asked me to dance. He holds my waist, and looking into each other's eyes, we enjoyed the moment. Then he proposed to me, and I was feeling like I'm in the sky. And the color of the sky is pink with purple clouds floating. I answered yes. Until now, we are together dating each other. What's your story? True Tales wants to hear it. If you also have any such moment, you can share it in the comments section below. Hit the like button if you liked my story. Subscribe to this channel to watch more such videos. And press the bell icon for more updates.
My name is Michelle, and this is my first time out at the club. My best friends Pat and Mary had forced me to be out with them. I tried my possible best to prevent them from letting me go, but this time they both got me. As soon as I got there, I sat with the bartender and ordered for a non-alcoholic drink, while Pat and Mary were out on the dance floor dancing with some guys they didn't know. I thought to myself, that could never be me. I was the shy and reserved one out of the three of us. This time the speakers were banging hard one could hardly hear. "Give me another drink," I said, and I stood. All I wanted was to go out for a walk and clear my head. As I made my way out, I bumped into this fierce-looking guy, and all my drink poured on him. "Are you blind?" he said out loud, threatening to slap me. I quickly adjusted my position before looking into his eyes and said, "Sorry." There was an instant connection between us. He was a handsome guy with his cute face and all. We both went in to clean ourselves up. We found an empty room and we went in alone. "Let's stay here, it's quiet." The chilly breeze stuck to our faces as we came to a halt. I held onto his hand, my beautiful beady eyes darting to and fro as we entered a room. He smiled at me as I made my way to help him unbutton his shirt. "You are beautiful, you know," he whispered as he caressed my pitiful face. My heart rate suddenly increased. I didn't want to come here, and here I was with a total stranger alone with the room to ourselves. He started kissing me gently and slowly, making sure his hands cupped my face as he continued. I thought again to myself, am I really going to do this? I don't even know his name. "Over here," he said, pointing to the bed, his fingers grasping mine tightly as we moved. He threw his hands around me as our mouths made love. Gentle and soft kisses at first, setting the rhythm for the passionate moments that came after. He kissed me deeper, our tender hands exploring each other as my moans filled the room. We had our hands locked together as we laid on a pile of clothes. I shouldn't be doing this, I thought to myself. In one fluid motion, I pushed him away and I jumped out of the bed. "I'm sorry," I managed to say. I felt embarrassed, not just for myself, but also for the guy with me. "No problem, we should get some drinks," he said, and picked a shirt from the bed. We went back to the club and the music was even louder. Immediately, he ordered a beer for himself, and me, not wanting to impress him, ordered for a red alcoholic wine. He held my hands and we danced all the night, forgetting what had transpired between us. My best friends Pat and Mary just watched me from afar, and some minutes after, Pat walked up to me and whispered in my ear, "I see you are enjoying yourself." I didn't seem to bother as the wine was taking its toll on me. I was enjoying myself and I was dancing harder than before. I took more drinks and couldn't control myself any longer. I felt tipsy, and at the same time I could hear my stomach rumbling. I held on tight to my stomach and in an instant I threw up. All the contents of the vomit came flying on my new guy, and this time it wasn't funny. Pat and Mary quickly rushed to the scene and hurried me out. I never felt so embarrassed in my entire life. What's your story? True Tales wants to hear it. If you also have any such moment, you can share it in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked my story. Subscribe to this channel to watch more such videos, and press the bell icon for more updates.
Hi everyone, my name is Jane, and I just had my first kiss. It felt odd and awkward with the mere thought of it making me laugh every single time. It wasn't as beautiful as I thought my first kiss would be, but it wasn't bad either. Paul was his name, and he was easily the boy of any teenage girl's dreams. He was 6'4" tall. His chin was more rigid and prominent than most of the boys'. One could see how his chest muscles were built with his shirt fitting well on him. With just that, I already knew how his abs were going to be. The rise and fall of his bicep muscles and tricep muscles were immaculate as he clung onto his backpack that hung loosely at his back. He recently just transferred to our school and everyone was talking about him, even some of the guys. In less than a week, he frolicked with the so-called big boys of the class. "I'm definitely going to marry him," I smiled to myself as I glanced at him from the hallway. I had an immediate crush on him and all I ever wanted was him, but I wasn't bold enough to walk up to him. As much as I liked him, I didn't want to feel rejected. I was satisfied with admiring him from afar, and all I could do was hope he noticed me. Have I talked about his voice? Oh, his voice was heavenly. "How are you?" I heard him speak to Miss Merson. There was something about him I couldn't explain. It felt as if he was a product of an artistic masterpiece. I prayed for him to be put in my classroom, and guess what? Yes, you guessed right. He was put in my class. Everything is working out fine, I thought again to myself. If I couldn't talk to him, at least I'd get to look at him all day, and that was just enough for me. He was a few seats away from me, and all I did was smile widely as I stared at him. He wasn't looking at me, and I had all the freedom to stare as much as I want. I had created several scenarios of us being together, and I smiled harder. Suddenly, he looked back at me, and I was in shock and turned my face away. Did he catch me? I mumbled under my breath. Slowly, I turned my head. As I returned it back to its original position, and there he was, with his eyes looking directly at me. He smiled, and I could swear I caught him winking at me. Shyly, I managed to smile, but all I did was blush with my fluffy fat cheeks turning red. I felt embarrassed. I buried my head in my books and prayed for the class to end. I couldn't bear to look at him again and risk him catching me the second time. I tried my very best, but I just had to look at that handsome face. After classes, I hurried out of the room in a bid to leave as quickly as possible. I walked as fast as I could until I was stopped in my steps. I had rammed into someone as I walked, and all of my books came falling. Sorry, I said as I bent to pack my books. I carried my head up, and this time, I found a big smile staring at me. I didn't know what to do, how to react, or even what to say. He also bent down and helped me pack my books, and then I saw his right hand resting on mine. I pretended not to see it until he held both of my hands, looked at me straight in the eyes, and brought his lips to kiss mine. It felt like a dream, and all I did was close my eyes and allow it to flow. My name is Paul, he said as he made his way out. I was still on my knees as I looked at him walk out. I bit my lower lip as I savored the moment that just passed. What's your story? True Tales wants to hear it. If you also have any such moment, you can share it in the comments section below. Hit the like button if you liked my story. Subscribe to this channel to watch more such videos, and press the bell icon for more updates.
Hey there, my name is Nancy. Well, most people out there would have kissed someone and their partner would have still supported them. However, in my own case, it's a different story than you all. There was a boy named Michael, and everyone in the high school felt delighted to see him anytime. And I also felt the same thing. On that day, it was his birthday, and all the girls from the high school wished him a happy birthday. I wished him, though. He had thrown his birthday party that night and had invited all the guys and girls of high school. That same day, I was searching for a book in the library, and he came over to me and asked if I had any plans for that night. I said no, without hesitation, and he asked if I could join his birthday party. At that moment, I was feeling on top of the world that the most adorable guy asked me to join his birthday party. But without showing my emotions to him, I just said, "Yes, sure, that sounds good." After school that day, I literally ran all the way home to find the best outfit to wear for that special night. I removed all my clothes from my wardrobe, took an hour to decide what attire to wear. Finally, I wore a sexy black dress and rushed to the party. As I reached the destination, I found the party to be well organized with all my high school classmates dancing on the dance floor. Few were partying on the bar, but I was yet to see Michael anywhere. So I went to the bar, got a glass of mojito, and settled down on the couch beside the bar. I was just chilling out when Michael came up to me and asked for help. He had cut his thumb and wanted help in finding first aid box. I felt maybe he wants to spend time with me because he was taking me away from the party. I was highly strung and also excited. With this feeling, I went along with my crush. We reached his room and started searching for first aid box everywhere. We searched in the wardrobe, a small cabinet, a side table, drawer, etc., but could not find it. Lost in the thought of a first aid box, we both were walking back from the opposite direction and collide with each other. We both fell onto the floor and started laughing. We started talking to each other and got to know each other better. We were having a lot of fun and I was getting infatuated on him more than before. I felt that even he had also started liking me. I pondered on the thought that we actually came here in search of the first aid box, and then we were sitting and talking for so long. I was getting loving vibes from Michael, and suddenly he started leaning toward me as if leaning in for a kiss. Without giving it a thought, I just grabbed him and kissed him on the lips. I was actually kissing my crush for real, and it was amazing. And suddenly, Michael pushed me away and said, "Hey, have you lost?" I was so embarrassed and confused. I told him, stammering, well, you leaned in for a kiss, right? Oh, no, that was a wrong assumption. He pointed behind me to reveal that the first aid box was lying under the chair behind me. He was reaching for the first aid box. It was so awkward and embarrassing for me. My ears were waiting to hear that he enjoyed it, but there was just silence. I didn't know what to do, so I ran out of the party, out of the house, and started whining. It had gone from so stupendous to such an unsuccessful love story. If you also have such experiences in the past, you can share it in the comments section below. Hit the like button if you liked my story, and subscribe to this channel to watch more of such videos.
Hi there, my name is Raquel, and this is the story of when I was a young girl. My parents moved me to NYC. Both of them worked in finance. My dad was a hedge fund manager. My mom was a CEO of a large bank. They didn't really have a choice since their job relocated them. It was very sad and lonely for me. I had to leave all my friends behind in the Netherlands. My parents assured me that it was a very friendly city that we were moving to, that they have a few business friends that also have kids around my age. On September 2nd, we moved into our new house. It was really beautiful. The color was like a dusty rose, and there were huge windows. The yard was still very tiny. Still, my dad was able to build a little swing set for me. Anyways, that was okay, because it was right next to a huge park. I spent my days and nights dreaming about what my new school would be like. The day finally arrived. My mom told me to grab my new purple sparkly backpack by the door. She said that her business colleague, Janet, would be stopping by with her daughter, Sandy, who's also in my grade, and she said they would walk with us to school for the first day. From that day on, Sandy and I became such amazing friends. She helped me feel so welcomed. She knew everyone, and everybody liked her. And then the best day of school happened. It was potato sack race day in gym class. I got paired up with the dreamiest boy in the world. His name was Patrick. He didn't talk much, but he laughed a lot. I think because he was shy. And as it turns out, we won the race. From that day on, I had a crush on him. I'd bring in extra snacks for him. I'd even do his homework for him. Towards the middle of the year, Sandy was having a birthday party. She invited me. I was so excited because she invited Patrick too. The party was so much fun. There was a magician, a bouncy house, and a petting zoo. But my favorite time of the party was after cake. We all sat in Sandy's room in a circle, and we played Truth or Dare with Spin the Bottle. When the bottle spun to my direction, everyone dared me to kiss Patrick. So I did. This was the best day of my life. He turned really red and started to laugh. And later in the game, when the bottle spun in his direction, everyone asked him Truth or Dare. He picked Truth. So Sandy asked him if he had a crush on me, and I was so shocked. He said yes. My heart started beating fast, and then, in front of all my friends, he proposed me. Without waiting, I answered him yes. That day was the luckiest day for me, and till today, we are together. What's your story? True Tales wants to hear it. If you also have any such moment, you can share it in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked my story. Subscribe to this channel to watch more such videos, and press the bell icon for more updates.